Hello everybody and welcome back again. And in this video I am going to be talking about the situation right now that recently has happened with a member from the Mr. Beast crew that's been there for many years, almost since the beginning, Ava Tyson, Chris Tyson. Um, and for me it's absolutely crazy, and I don't know why I keep getting surprised when I shouldn't be surprised with things like this happening. But now we have another situation of a content creator being a massive creep and talking extremely inappropriate with minors. And we're going to start off with three things that I think are the most important. So, years ago, Ava Tyson was, or she had many posts tweeting and replying or commenting on a specific disgrace and horrible and disgusting artist known as Shadman. And if you know that person, you know that that person is extremely disgusting and a horrible human being that created foul artwork of things that were just abhorrent. And some examples are many artworks of underage characters. And one of the most depraved ones, I would say, is he actually made art of Keemstar's daughter that was at the time 8 years old in a very sexualized way. Now, you can hate Keemstar. I understand. He has many things that you can hate him for. He can be a piece of shit a lot of times. He's a bald retard. I understand. He can be annoying as fuck. He did a lot of gross and like fucked up shit. But doing something like this is nothing. Like, it is way too far. Like, this is not acceptable at all. Doing some depraved shit like that is fucking disgusting. It does not make you any better of a person than he is. And comparing to that, it feels like Keemstar's a way better person than Shadman is, because at least Keemstar didn't draw underage shit like he did. That's fucking disgusting. That's horrible. I can't imagine how Keemstar would have to see some shit like that, or just have or know that someone made disgusting artwork of his daughter in a sexualized way, which is obviously illegal. And he also made many other posts that were of underage kids, and basically you could say it's lolicon, but these are actual real pictures of sexualized kids, and it's fucking baffling to me that someone like him can actually make some gross shit like that and sell it and show it out into the world and just let it be out there. And it's crazy too. Why am I mentioning Shadman? Because it was shown that obviously Ava made a lot of tweets commenting on Shadman's posts and talking about it. One of the examples I've seen is an anime character from The Rising of the Shield Hero, an anime that I like, of a character known as Raphtalia, but in the version of Raphtalia, she has two versions, one when she was a kid, and another one when she's grown but still young. And of course, Shadman made a tweet talking about, why do people keep sending me this? And it's a picture of Raphtalia when she was around like 12 maybe. And when he made that post, it was shown that Ava actually commented on that saying, please Shadman, please. Basically begging for him to make some weird shit with that character. And shit like that is fucking insane, because not to mention commenting on, basically I would say a pedophile, commenting on someone like that, and then also later on even buying or commissioning artwork from him, which I'm not even lying is true, because if you want to, well, he actually bought artwork or commissioned it from Shadman himself, and the proof of it is you can actually look in one of Mr. Beast's old videos of him tipping $10,000 to a pizza delivery guy. It's the one with around 100 something million views. Yeah, no, 22 million views. My bad. Not the one with the 141. 22 million views. He tipped a guy $10,000, and if you looked at around 9 minutes, you can actually see that artwork in the wall, just out there, just right there in the wall of his living room, from Chris Tyson's room. I'm guessing that's his house, and that shit is fucking insane. I don't care what anyone says, and even if it was years ago, what is so funny about buying basically child porn? What is funny about that? Oh, no, no, no. You see, the child porn, it was just a goof. It was just for laughs. Like, why aren't you laughing? Like, what is funny about that? There's nothing funny about that at all. It's gross and it's disgusting. And why would you ever even support someone like Shadman? It's fucking horrible. Now, the second thing that was also shown is Ava also constantly texting, or also just chatting with someone that was basically underage, around 14, 13 years ago, and saying many weird and sexualized, I guess, jokes just to mess with him or whatever, like coming for America or something. And apparently the victim of this that situation actually came out and said that he says that he was never groomed and Chris Tyson never did anything wrong. Now, I wish the best for the victim. I'm sorry that you had to go through some shit like that, even if you don't think that you were groomed or anything. Alright, I understand that's your opinion, but even so, if you don't think that he ever did anything wrong to you, or didn't do anything wrong to you, it's still not right for someone like Chris that was around 20 at the time. He was an adult. He has an obligation, if he's ever even talking to someone that's underage, to never say weird shit to that minor, because that's disgusting and they should not be exposed to something like that when they're at that age. See, like another example is calling that minor thanks dad or whatever. Now, for me and my friends, we fuck around and say like gay shit sometimes, or mostly them. We just like, oh yeah, thanks dad or whatever. It's just for jokes. But the difference is we're all the same age. We're all the same age, so we just fuck around like that. The age gap on Chris and the minor was around 7 years or 6 years, somewhere around there, which is fucking insane, because you shouldn't ever have a sort of conversation like that with a minor, ever. Ever. There's no excuse. It doesn't matter if you say, oh, it was edgy humor back then, it was acceptable. No, it was never acceptable. Not with someone that's underage. You are an adult. You should never ever have a conversation like that. And it's not that I'm offended or anything. It's just disgusting. And I'm going to be talking about his apology later on as well. That is even worse as well. But no matter what, I understand what the victim said. And the victim was Lava GS, if I'm aware. Says that he never got groomed by Chris and never did anything like, I don't know, having to try to have, I don't know, do inappropriate actions or whatever. But still, Chris still had inappropriate conversations and, well, a lot of sexual things, like talking about sexual things in Discord and even chatting, like voice chatting. It's still not right, and no one should ever do that when they're an adult talking to a minor, ever. I don't understand what's so hard about that for many YouTubers. Like, it's crazy how this year we've recently been exposing so many people that are actually like pedophiles. Like, we've had Dr. Disrespect, we've had Diddy, we've had Drake, now we have Chris. What is going on? Are we having like just a monthly exposition for pedophiles? What is going on? What is so hard about just not sexualizing or talking to kids inappropriately? What is so hard about that? It's fucking crazy to me. And we're going to move on to the last one that we're going to be talking about as well, which is Chris doing revenge porn. A while ago, he had a YouTube channel that is assumed that it's from him, because it was a lot of posts that was shown of Chris, like videos of Chris that was shown of him. And it was actually, one of them was revenge porn of a specific actor. Now, the actor for that, the victim of the revenge porn situation, that Chris made a video on saying, "Oh yeah, I actually have some leaks or pictures of leaked images of Jeanette McCurdy, which is the actor for iCarly and Sam and Cat, the actor that was, you know, the blonde girl. I can't really describe her, but it's the blonde girl, if you know what I mean." But yeah, he made a specific video saying, "Oh yeah, here are free Jeanette McCurdy leaks of her, basically revenge porn of pictures of her that were leaked from her ex-boyfriend." And what goes through your mind making a specific video like that, and also doing a crime, like an actual crime, leaking revenge porn of an actor where it was supposed to be private? Why would you even ever promote that? He says, "I don't support this, I don't support this at all, but link is in the description." What is the purpose of that? Why would you do something like that? There is no funny humor about that at all, doing revenge porn. It's not funny. It's never funny at all. And people that think it is funny, it wouldn't be funny until you were exposed to something like that. Now you wouldn't be laughing. It's disgusting. And it really shows to me that Ava isn't really a great person at all. And I really thought she was. And I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong pronouns. I'm not sure if it's she, they, my bad. But it really shows to me that she isn't a great person. And she's done a lot of fucked up shit. And even if it was years ago, it doesn't matter for situations like this. Things like that wouldn't matter if it was years ago is some minor things, but this is fucking massive and it's disgusting. It's not acceptable at all to do something like this. It's not. Now, all those three things, I would say, even if one of them, which was just the situation with the minor, even if that's, I guess, excluded, it's still fucked up with the other things he's done, which is support Lolicon and basically buy child a picture of an underage character, which is disgusting and horrible. And recently there's also been an expose, basically an Epstein list of YouTubers that are being exposed for supporting an artist, which was Shadman. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's something else. I'm not going to be talking about this. I'm talking about Chris Tyson. But now we're going to be talking about her apology, alright? Also, I would like to mention as well that many of the screenshots or tweets that Chris made, or Ava made, years ago, she wiped them all. Like, all of them are gone. If you would go to her Twitter right now, she used to have a lot of posts, from what I'm aware. I don't know how many, but she had a lot. But now, apparently it was a while ago that she deleted all of them. But still, everything is wiped. And the only way that people were able to find out is from screenshots or also the Wayback Machine. And it did show or seem that many of the posts were real. Now we're going to talk about her apology. So-called apology. Now, I can't take pictures in PlayStation. I can't do that. It's kind of hard to do it in here, but I'm just going to read it for you. This is all from Chris Tyson, and if you don't believe me, you can go to her Twitter and see it for yourself. "I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations is at LavaGS, has vocally supported that they are false. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I have stepped away. Now, this is not an apology. It's not an apology at all. Because what she's apologizing for is, I'm sorry if anyone got offended or hurt. That's not apologizing for the things you did specifically. You say that, oh, he can back me up. Lava GS, the victim of this supposedly, he says that I never groomed him or anything. Just because he said that, that does not mean that it was right for you to say fucked up and sexualized and weird shit to him when he was young, when he was underage. That is not excusable. It's inexcusable to do some shit like that. And I'm sorry that I keep stuttering, but it's baffling to me that someone like Chris had such a weird fucking past like this, and it's fucking insane. But anyways, you're not apologizing to the shit you did. You never mentioned anything about the Shad Man. You never mentioned anything about the Jeanette McCurdy thing. You didn't mention anything about that. Anything at all. Any of the fucked up shit you did. All you really focused on sort of is just with the victim and talking to him weirdly as fuck. That's all you mentioned. And then you said, I'm sorry if I offended anyone with my past behavior. Motherfucker, we're more pissed at you supporting a pedophile, buying shit from a pedophile, supporting and showing revenge porn of an actor that was more showing for a kid's audience from, Nickelodeon shows, and then talking to a minor in weird and sexualized ways with sex jokes or weird gross jokes to a minor. You're an adult and you have a moral obligation to not say anything weird to a minor, because they shouldn't have to ever hear anything about that at all when they are at that age ever. Because let them live their life. Don't let their lives get ruined from weird shit, getting exposed to weird shit at a young age, because then that's how creeps get formed, alright? But concluding this, I'm saying this is an awful fucking apology, because it's not an apology at all. It's a non-apology. It's another same fucking apology from other people that have been exposed. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. The classic one every fucking time. And it's getting me so annoyed that so many content creators are getting exposed for being creeps and pedos. Now, the things that I also want to mention is the people that are saying, oh, where's the same energy now with the Dr. Disrespect? Why haven't you had the same energy with Dr. Disrespect, like people like Pokimane or, I don't know, Valkyrie, Ludwig, or MoistCritkal? Like, when I was gonna make a video on this earlier, before I made my GTA video, but I wanted to wait and hopefully see if maybe she would reply and, like, actually say something, because I was sort of speculating on things that I'm not sure of. I don't know if everything was true, so I wanted to wait and see if anything more was releasing. And I think it was good that I did, because then I would know that everything was true and everything I can confirm and actually say was true, and not, get my facts wrong. So that way I won't have to, spread misinformation. And I don't see what's wrong with that for these big YouTubers as well. Is it not wrong to just at least wait until everything is confirmed true, like with the situation with Dr. Disrespect? Because when people saw about that, there were many that were saying, oh, he's a pedo, and many that were saying we should wait and don't fucking just go on with these accusations when they're just accusations. We don't know if they're real yet. So what is wrong about waiting with that? And they're not obligated to make videos immediately when those things are popping right now, because then at that point you might just spread misinformation. You don't know what you'll be talking about yet until the person actually replies, because there's been many times when people tried to expose pedophiles, so-called YouTube pedophiles, but the whole time they were actually not in the wrong. They were actually just being falsely accused of some shit like that. So I feel like it was good that they waited until everything was proven true. So I don't see what's up with that. And also, where's the same energy? Motherfucker, many people also have lives to do out there instead of just waiting until someone's getting exposed for being a pedo. And they don't have an obligation to immediately make a video on that person being a pedophile. And the biggest and most annoying motherfucker that was having this mindset spread around is, of course, Sneako. And, oh my god. Sneako is so fucking annoying. By far one of the most annoying people out there on social media, I would say. And he's a massive hypocrite for even having shit like this. Because when Dr. Disrespect was being exposed for shit like this, he used that classic example of saying, oh, just because Dr. Disrespect maybe supposedly talked to someone that was around 17, I don't know, 11 months, something days and a few seconds, that he's a pedophile. God, he used that same example to try to defend a pedophile. But then now that someone like Chris Tyson was being exposed for some shit like this, he says, where's that same energy for the big creators? Where is it at? First of all, you should be the last person to be talking about some shit like this, because it clearly shows to me that the only reason you switched up on an argument like this is because you're transphobic. And I'm not just saying that because it's just another shit that I say, oh, you're just transphobic. No, he is, because you can just see on one of his recent posts that transgender is an illness, just like the shit that Nick Merckx said. And that's a thing that Nick Merckx also just made a tweet when he saw the shit happening. Oh yeah, transgenderism is an illness, and that's the only reason why Sneako actually talked about this and said, oh, that's bad for what the shit he did, and fuck all the people that haven't made videos on this yet, and they just want to be on a Mr. Beast video. You should be the last person talking about this, because you actually tried to defend a pedophile many times, and specifically Dr. Disrespect, using that same bullshit example every time, trying to say 17 is actually just basically 18, when it's not, because 17 is still a kid. And then also, he's a massive hypocrite because he likes watching a movie for pedophiles, Cuties if you don't know, and also disagrees with the age of consent. And I don't have the video or anything, but you can check it out and saying Sneako, probably, a video of Sneako disagreeing with the age of consent and saying it's more like the age of, I don't know, marriage or some shit, which is so fucking stupid and probably the dumbest things he said ever, I would say, because no one should ever even disagree with the age of consent, because the age of consent should be 18. And he used an example that the age of consent in many other states isn't 18. It's like 16 or 17. Just because the age of consent isn't 18 in other places, you have a moral obligation to not fuck children. It's that simple. And he says, oh, and then if you would talk to a kid that's 16, then you're a pedophile. Yeah, you are, because they're not even an adult yet. They're not even done with high school yet. When you're 18, you're basically done with high school and you move on to college. You're still in sophomore and junior for 16 or 17. It's that simple, and it's disgusting that he tries to say that he doesn't believe in the age of consent and then constantly gets flamed about shit like this. And this is why I would say Sneako is more of an illness than transgender, because trans people are not an illness. It's just someone that changes their gender. That's all it is, because they feel different and don't feel comfortable with their bodies with what they are right now. So it's not affecting you at all. And it makes no sense, because Sneako is probably the most likely one that is an illness, because he spreads his bullshit all over and manipulating all these kids or all these people that have no idea what the fuck they think, and just have a leader for them to say, yeah, fuck those trans people. So Sneako, I highly doubt you'll ever watch this, and I highly doubt any Sneako fan will watch this, but just letting you know, if you really want to believe in Sneako, just letting you know, he likes a pedo movie and disagrees with the age of consent. So he really thinks that any kid or at any age should be able to have sex with any adult, or even any minor at some age, any age at all. So yeah, I wouldn't really trust Sneako with anything at all, because he is a massive hypocrite and is a pretty big creep for trying to disagree with the age of consent, even when he gets flamed and basically interrogated by other content creators saying, why do you think this shit? That's fucked up and that's gross. Because he has no explanation for this. And the explanation he says, oh, why, what do you think the age of consent is? Oh, I don't know, it all depends on where you're from. Like, that makes no sense at all. It really doesn't. The age of consent will always be 18 no matter what it says on the law. It's always 18. And if it's not, you and everyone in YouTube, any big content creator, have a moral obligation to not fuck children under the age of 18. It's that simple, and I don't know what's so hard about that. Just because I made videos, I'm obviously not a big content creator. I'm not. But I don't think just because I'm a big content creator, I don't think, yeah, because of me having 100 subs, I want to go touch kids. What the fuck is up with that? What is up with that? Just leave them alone. You have like 75% of the world out there is over the age of 18. That 25%, why are you going for them? Leave the children alone. Leave them alone. Alright, moving on from that, but another thing that I do want to mention is because of this situation with Chris Tyson, it obviously makes a more stain for content creators, but it most likely now will bring more transphobes. And what I mean by that is people only really started caring about this situation more than Dr. Disrespect, I would say, because they use this as an example now that trans people are an illness and just all of them are pedophiles, which is obviously not true. Not every trans person, not every person is a pedophile. It makes no sense that you would have some sort of accusation like that because they're not. A lot of trans people are just normal people. And now people use this as a prime example because Chris had a big audience, a massive audience, and a massive amount of supporters, because I mean he was trans, and I did too. I actually supported him. I thought he was funny, and I thought he was a good example for the trans community. I thought, hell yeah, I don't give a shit if you're trans. I really don't. But now because of this shit, people are gonna use this as a prime example of why transgenderism is an illness. And there's a perfect example with that with Nick Merckx and with Sneeko. Nick Merckx, obviously with the situation you saw that he's basically just a transphobe and doesn't give a shit about them. And he was just bullshitting out of his way of saying, oh, protect the kids. He just was just hiding his transphobia. That's all it was. And you could see in his post saying, oh my god, what a surprise. And still obviously agreeing with transgender is an illness. And then there you go also with Sneeko talking about how it's an illness. So many people have probably changed their minds because of this situation, and I'm not saying everyone is. I'm sure many people still agree that trans is not an illness, because it isn't. It isn't at all. It makes no sense if people say that it is. It's not. It's not an illness. Not every trans person is a pedophile. Not every gay person is a piece of shit. Not every woman, not every man, not every black man, not any race at all. Not everyone is a piece of shit. Not everyone is a creep. Not everyone commits crimes. Not everyone does illegal shit. Not all of us are evil people and fucked up people. We aren't. Many of us just want to live our lives and just do normal shit and just enjoy life while we can. And it's unfair that we are compared to people, some bad apples in our community, and compare them to us just because of the shit that they did. It's not right and it's fucked up. It makes no sense if you have this mindset at all. And if you have this sort of mindset, then you are just stupid as fuck, alright? You shouldn't have any mindset either way if you think that, because there's no hope for you at all, I guess. But this is all I have to say, and I'm just outraged with some shit like this because I genuinely respected Ava because I didn't care. I didn't care that she was trans. I didn't care that from what people criticize her for just because she's trans. I just see that many people hated her just because she's trans. But now with the shit like this, it seems that she isn't a great person, and obviously I'm still not changing my mind. I'm still a supporter of trans people. I'm not changing my mind because of her, because that's stupid. It just sucks now because now the trans community has a bad example like that, and it sucks too because now people will use that for an example of why trans people are bad people. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm pretty disappointed with the shit that has come out and was hoping that it was all untrue, but it's not. It's all true. So disappointed, but I shouldn't be surprised with this shit like that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this rant. It fucking sucks, but hope you enjoyed. See you guys later.